I don't know how y'all channel, but I gotta get into the vibe before I start channeling, so. Alright, enough of that. So, if you caught the title of this video, you know we're going to be talking about the people who have been in caretaker mode. We talking oldest child syndrome, aka oldest daughter syndrome, aka you got mom energy. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Why? Because what we don't realize, that is just a generational curse. And it is due to programming that we ain't supposed to be putting on our babies. And if you've been in this position, I have. This video is specifically for you. So shout out to all the oldest children, all the oldest daughters, the ones who had to raise kids before they was even an adult, the one who had to raise adults while they was a kid, the ones who gave up their childhood so that somebody else could live comfortable. This video is for you. Let's get into this healing, y'all. I'm gonna start this off with welcome to Wisdom Behave Her, that good old safe space where we go ahead and unpack our traumas so we can walk in the grace that God so lovingly gives us. If you are new here, welcome in. I'm glad you found a little corner of healing. Go ahead and hit subscribe, because if you have found our corner of healing, God is guiding you home. If you are returning, hey soul family, welcome back. You already know what to do. Like this video and share it with somebody who you know needs it. And I'm sure there's at least 3 people in your contacts right now who need this video. Share it with them right now. Go do it now. Now today we're going to be talking about caretaker syndrome or caretaker mode. As I've already described, a lot of us have fallen into this position in life where you ended up being a caretaker, but that wasn't at all what you signed up for. You came into this world as a kid. Next thing you knew, you was considered an adult. You was raising kids. And then by the time you was an adult, you was tired of raising kids. So while I was channeling today, I got a few notes that I took down for us, for you. I got you. So it says, children who grow up in caretaker mode are found to be in the most destructive types of lifestyle in their youth. This comes from the stolen aspect of childhood and its replacement for falsified maturity. These children don't grow up. They are considered grown up in their own right, with childhood behaviors being considered a shortcoming. The greatest weapon used against these children is their own love, their empathic nature, and their deep craving for acceptance amongst those who project dependence on them. The savviest groomers of these children will withhold love and care from them as leverage and currency, adding to the emotional torture, fear of abandonment, and diminished self-worth and value within them. Now, I know that was heavy, but it was all true. And if you've been through what I've been through, because we've been through, you know it was truth. And we're here to get truth. We don't care that the truth hurts here. Why? Because we're not operating out of ego. We're here for truth and truth only, right? The whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. That's what we're here for. So the truth is, you was not supposed to live like that. No one is supposed to live like that. And yet it still happens. Why? Because it is a generational curse, y'all. It is a generational curse. And we came here to break it. Break it down. So, let's break it down like a fraction, y'all. Now, the first thing I want to get into is how easy it is to build these characteristics in children. Remember, children are pliable. They are like Play-Doh. All they want is to be molded. They come out that way. That's why they come out with raisin faces, so that they can grow into their face, because they want to be molded. I don't know why. It just feels right. So, being that they are so easily molded into what we want them to be, when you sway their thinking into the position of being the one to provide, the provider amongst children and adults, Because remember, being a caretaker doesn't necessarily mean that you're a caretaker for only children, that you're raising only children. You are raising adults too. You get programmed in that way as well. And I'm going to touch on that too, y'all. We're going to touch on everything. We're going to touch everything today. Touching it all. Doing it. So the first thing we're going to get into is building this dynamic within children. And anyone that needs elaboration, I'm going to go into it as the Holy Spirit guides. So the first one I have is, you build this in a young child by putting them in charge of other children as if they are an authority, but you give them no power. If you have been in this position, like I've been in this position, you've probably had to be the parental unit over other children. But yet you're still a child yourself. So were you really in charge? No. You had a fake authority bestowed upon you. And a lot of times you were there to keep the peace amongst other children as if you weren't one of them yourself. Yeah, that's you. That's us. The next one I have is, they're usually groomed in environments that are not conducive to peace, calm, and tranquility. Very much so. I will say I did not like loud. I did not like arguments. I didn't like terse situations. But that was what was around. And a lot of times this is what happens in caretaker mode. You're around so much disarray that you start mentally understanding how to fix the problems. And as you come up with the ideas to how to fix the problems, you're now the problem fixer. That role wasn't for you. Next one is, we create a dynamic that puts them in the role of a child when their behavior is insufficient, but then switches them to the role of adult when performance is needed. Oh my goodness. Now this one, my nose is itching on that one. This one was the one. Have you ever been told, oh, you acting like a kid because you maybe want to watch cartoons? But as soon as someone needed you to go to the store and you're like 8 years old and the store's like 4 blocks and it's nighttime, now you an adult. Where did you do that at? Where did the switch up coming from? Yeah, that was it. That was you being programmed to be an adult, even though you are a child. When you're a child, you're being told that you can't do that. You're not supposed to be doing this because you're being kiddish. But when you're being adult, now you're rewarded for performance. Y'all, the last one I have here is, when a child is forced to assess the room for emotionally unstable individuals in order to determine, is it safe to be at ease? This one's a big deal, because one of the biggest things that's stolen from children who are in caretaker mode, who have to become mini adults, is their safety. They don't ever feel safe. This is why they grow up to become perfectionists for the most part, because they need control, because they didn't have control when they were young, and they were forced to kind of create it out of nothingness. This is hard. It's heavy, y'all. It's heavy. So if you need to go get a tissue, by all means, please go get the tissue. We're going to cry about it, but we're going to heal about it too, y'all. So now we're going to get into what you get when you put a kid in a pot. You add a whole bunch of responsibility. You forget to add the love, nurturing, and support, but you make sure you add a whole bunch of need. It's a recipe for disaster, y'all. You get a few things, because remember, none of these things just go away. You don't grow up and then say, oh, I'm so happy I'm no longer in caretaker mode. You literally have been programmed for it. So you're going to go your whole life living as if your role, your name is caretaker, until you check the behaviors. But when you don't, when you're living in that unhealed mindset of a self-proclaimed caretaker from a whole lineage, you become a whole bunch of different things. So the unhealed variations become lifelong people pleasers. So you begin to do this professionally. You want to please everybody. Rightfully so. Think about it. You're being programmed. So of course you're going to do it professionally. You're going to do it to the best of your ability. Believe it or not, one of the biggest characteristics of people who have been in caretaker mode their whole life is becoming a perfectionist. So you're going to perfect it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it well. That don't mean you should be doing it and doing it and doing it well. Listen, I got songs up here for days, y'all. So as a lifelong people pleaser, naturally your relationships are going to be geared toward people pleasing too. You're going to find people who need you, people who are codependent on your presence, and they're needing you is what's going to make you feel like you'll be in love, because that's what you found love was growing up. So the unhealed variation of you is most likely going to have a lot of relationships where someone is leaning on you, your pockets, your energy, everything about you, until you break free. But this is the path. This is the path, y'all. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. The next one we have is a bitter adult. Now, some people who have been people pleasers, they turn out to be dope girls who get their eyebrows done and make YouTube videos. But some of us don't. Some of us become very bitter because of the way that they were treated. And that comes from the unhealed aspect. When you don't heal this, you know you were done wrong. You know that the people around you have mistreated you, and you feel like everybody is going to. So you become very bitter. I've also noticed that people who were in caretaker mode for a very long period of time, by the time they have their own children, or they at least reach the age 35, that's when they start to be bitter, and they don't even want to raise their children. They tend to be very lackadaisical parents. I'm going to show you why. Think about it. Your parents most likely were very heavy-handed and hands-on with you. By the time you have your own children and now they're grandparents, they're a lot less on top of things. That's kind of what happened. Think about it. You had kids at a very young age. So by the time you're an adult and you have your own kids, they technically feel like grandchildren. You tired. You're bitter. You don't want to raise anymore. Meanwhile, you just started the path, but they don't know this. Yeah, it becomes that. The next one we have is the groomed become the groomers. This one's hard because I've seen a lot of people who have become caretakers in lifetime. It's because their parent or the person who they were beneath was a caretaker as well. So it became a job because that's what they knew, they taught you, and that's what you now know. And if you don't heal this aspect of you, you're going to teach it to your kids too. And it's not because you want them to struggle the way you did, it's because you don't know any other way of life. So that's just what you're going to teach. You're going to teach, hey, you're supposed to look after your brother and sister, but not to the detriment of themselves. That's your baby. That's your kids. And it's unfortunate that you went through it, but the curse got to break somewhere. That's why it's called a generational curse, because somebody got to break it. Let it be you. Don't make your baby have to be the one to walk the path and then do it. You do it. Do it. We got this. You're strong enough. I know you are, because you're here. You break it. Next one I have is you become people with unestablished boundaries. This is why those relationships tend to go awry, because when you have no boundaries, when you don't know what limitations to set because you were never able to set them when you were young, you feel consistently taken advantage of. And it's not because everyone wants to take advantage of you, it's because you don't have a boundary set so that they know what taking advantage of you looks like. A lot of times people who will trigger these aspects of you while you're trying to heal them, they weren't present when the initial pain was caused, so they don't know what you've been through, at least how it felt. So what they'll do is they'll lean on you because you're naturally giving off caretaker energy. You're naturally giving off nurturing energy. That's why they say, oh, you have mom energy. Most people who say things like you carry mom energy, these are the people who are looking for someone to mother them. That's for somebody. That's one of your telltale signs. You got to use your discernment and use your intuition and set boundaries for all of those you come in contact with. This is a part of the healing. If people don't know what not to do, they're going to do it. And it's better to be proactive than reactive. And unfortunately, being in caretaker mode, you're programmed to be reactive. You got to get out of it. But we're going to grow through what we go through, y'all. The last one I have is most people who live in caretaker mode are prone to illness. Yes, they are. And the reason is because we don't understand how there's a serious link between your emotional and mental well-being and your physical health. The world will make it seem like physical health comes from physical assets. It's not true. It is not true at all. Your physical health is completely linked to your mental and your emotional well-being. For about 10 years, I had chronic asthma that no doctor could tell me where it came from. None. Every test did it all. They could not tell me where I developed chronic asthma. And I had to learn through my spiritual journey, to be honest. The spiritual journey is what taught me. Jesus, he taught me. Jesus, thank you, Jesus. It was because I was heartbroken for years and was not able to heal it. Because while you're heartbroken, you can't stay in a situation that's breaking your heart. Yeah, that's how that works. And when you are heart damaged, like emotionally damaged, it shows up in the body as upper respiratory illnesses for the most part. It can be heart problems. It can be lung issues, breathing issues. Yeah, look it up, you guys. I did a lot of research on this. I could heal you. I could heal you. Now we're going to talk real quick about how this is going to show up in your other relationships. Like I said, you're going to find that a lot of people who gravitate to you, they gravitate to you because they see that your energy is a nurturing energy. It feels good to be up underneath you. And they know that because you naturally want to nurture everything that you touch, you're going to easily want to do for them. A lot of times you'll attract people just like this. So understanding that it's the nurturer in you, it's the caretaker in you. It's not necessarily a crown that you get to wear and be like, yes, this is not a queen crown. It's more or less like a maid's hat. So we got to take that off. So that's one way it's going to show up in relationships. Very heavy. So be on alert when it comes to people who are up underneath you for what you can provide them. The comfort you provide them by them being in your good graces. I'll touch on real quick on how you're going to view yourself when you've been in caretaker mode. Until you begin to heal, you are going to see yourself as that caretaker. So like I just said, wearing it as a crown, you will accidentally wear this as a crown thinking, I'm just so good at making everybody feel safe and comfortable. But the truth is, you never feel safe and comfortable. That's the reason why you hunt for some sort of control through your perfectionism. So understand that that is not a crown. It's not. You deserve to feel safe at all times. And if safety comes from you being alone in your own energy, then that's going to have to be what safety is. But living as if the caretaker is something that you earned, like a badge of honor, it's not. And we're not doing it no more. 2025 is about to end, y'all. We're not doing this. Lastly, I'm going to quickly touch on again how people are going to view you when you are in that caretaker mindset until you heal it. You are a source of energy. You're a battery. You're a boost. You're a hit off a cigarette if you smoke. I don't smoke, but hey, it came up, so somebody smokes. It's just how you come off. You are comfort. You are considered home. I'm getting a vision of someone hosting a party for themselves, for something that they did. And the whole party, they're running around as the facilitator, making sure everybody's comfortable, everybody's happy at their party. That's for them. This is what's going to happen until you fully heal it. Because you're looked at as somebody who provides a service, a free one at that. So the healing, this is going to be the most important part of this whole journey. Yes, knowledgeability, knowing what you're doing, knowing how you're facing, knowing how you're moving. But you got to heal it, because if you stay in it, nothing changes. All right, y'all. So we're going to finish this video up with me at least listen how to cure this issue, Because if it can be a problem, it obviously got to be a fix, right? Jesus ain't gonna let us walk around here broken. And I definitely ain't broken no more. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, then I sold the t-shirt because I was like, why am I wearing this t-shirt? I don't even like this job. But I got y'all. All right, so to cure caretaker syndrome, the first thing you're gonna have to do is take your power back. You have to recognize that you've been in this mind state of a caretaker. You've been the dependent on for everybody else. You rip and run for everyone. You're going to have to realize that your power needs to be drawn back in, and you need to start loving you the way you're loving everyone else. That's the first thing. Now, it doesn't mean you can't love people outside of you. You loving you is going to begin with boundaries. It's going to begin to understand what you will and will not tolerate, what you can and cannot do, your limitations on your energy. Because you can't continue to operate at that capacity for everyone else and be left on empty. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing you're going to heal, is how much you respect your own energy. And because you do, you take it back. So this is step one. The next thing you're going to have to do is recognize that you are not here to be the savior of anyone else. We, even as healers, people who can help others heal, we don't physically heal them. Well, some of us can. But we don't physically just heal people. There's usually something that needs to be done on that person's end. Even when it comes to you accepting Christ and being able to follow Jesus, you have to accept him. If somebody in my position wanted to physically heal another person, that person would have to denounce the evil, denounce the demonic possession in order to be healed. So you have to put yourself in a position to understand that you are not here to heal anyone. You're not here to fix anyone, to create their comforts. You can inadvertently, as long as there's reciprocation. But that's not your job. It's not. And don't let anybody make you feel like it's your job, because that's the biggest thing. No one just says, hey, I can't wait to heal everyone. No. It's when people make you feel like that's what you got to do in order to keep them around, or in order to feel like you're worthy. You're worthy regardless. Know that. Know it here, and say it out here. Okay? The last thing I'm going to touch on, and the most important aspect of healing from caretaker mode, is taking back your childhood now. Who said that at 40 years old, I have to be on a cane watching soap operas, that I can't live life the way I want to? No one created that dynamic. Think about it. If God looks at all of us as his children, I'm considered a toddler, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm walking around here learning about life and enjoying life, and I should be able to do that. Whatever brings me complete joy and happiness and is built in purity and truth. Remember, truth. We're working on truth, y'all. My truth is what allows me to live in the favor of the Lord. And living as you would a child. Remember, the Lord wants us to come to him as these little children. This is how you heal this aspect of you, because you were not allowed to be a child. So every day should look like joy if you were someone who was put in caretaker mode. Yeah, every day. So yeah, there may be things that you have to do. Schedule them accordingly. Make sure you schedule an abundance of fun. Have fun just living life, because you deserve it. Now, I'm going to end this video here. If this video touched you in a deep space in your heart space, definitely drop a comment. Definitely drop me that emoji where he's like this. I'm going to put it up here somewhere. Drop that emoji. And I will go into a whole nother video on how to do this step by step. We could even create a program where we do a 30-day challenge on healing from caretaker mode. I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna write that down. So as we go ahead and heal, you are not only doing it by yourself, you're doing it with people who've been through what you went through. That makes it so much better. to be honest. Because a lot of us who struggled through caretaker mode, we did it by ourselves. We went through it alone. There wasn't nobody else who you could lean on. Now you can talk about it, you can heal about it, and you can grow about it. I'm gonna leave this right here. If you like this video, you already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. And I am going to catch you in the next one. Thanks for showing up for you. Love and light, y'all. And peace.